King Saul disobeyed God's commands, so God sent the prophet Samuel to Bethlehem to anoint a new king from among the sons of Jesse. When Samuel arrives, Jesse presents his 7 oldest sons, but God reveals that none of them are his chosen one. Samuel then asks if Jesse has any other sons, and Jesse recalls his youngest son, David, who is tending the sheep. When David is brought before Samuel, God tells Samuel, "Rise and anoint him. This is the one." So Samuel anoints David in the presence of his brothers, and the Spirit of the Lord comes powerfully upon David from that day forward. Sometime later, the Philistines gather their forces for war against Israel. They encamp in the valley of Elah, while Saul and the Israelites gather on the opposite hillside. A Philistine champion named Goliath, a giant of immense size and strength, comes out daily and taunts the Israelites, challenging them to send out a man to fight him in single combat. He boasts that if any Israelite can defeat him, the Philistines will become their servants, but if he prevails, the Israelites will become their servants. King Saul and the entire Israelite army are terrified of Goliath, and no one dares to accept his challenge. David, who is still young and tending his father's sheep, is sent by Jesse to bring food to his 3 oldest brothers who are with the army. When David arrives at the battle lines, he hears Goliath's taunts and witnesses the fear of the Israelite soldiers. David is indignant that this Philistine would defy the armies of the living God. He expresses his desire to fight Goliath, much to the disbelief and scorn of his older brother Eliab. When King Saul hears of David's boldness, he summons him. Saul is skeptical, pointing out David's youth and inexperience compared to Goliath, a seasoned warrior. However, David recounts his past experiences of protecting his father's sheep from lions and bears, stating that the Lord who delivered him from those animals will also deliver him from the hand of this Philistine. Impressed by David's faith and courage, Saul eventually agrees to let him fight. He offers David his own armor, but David finds it cumbersome and unfamiliar. Instead, he chooses to go out with his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones he gathers from a stream. When Goliath sees David, a young boy with no armor and only a staff and sling, he is contemptuous and mocks him. David replies with unwavering faith, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." David then reaches into his bag, takes out a stone, and hurls it with his sling. The stone strikes Goliath in the forehead, and the giant falls face down on the ground. David runs to Goliath, takes his sword, draws it from its sheath, and uses it to kill him and cut off his head. When the Philistines see that their champion is dead, they turn and flee, and the Israelites pursue them with a great victory. David takes Goliath's head to Jerusalem, and his courageous act marks the beginning of his rise to prominence in Israel. If you found this video helping, share it with friends and family. Thank you.
The visuals in this video, depicting the story of David and Goliath, are sourced from the Bible app for kids.